what's up, family? This is Marseille, aka the Property Pastor with Kingdom Legacy Builders. Our mission is to help everyday people to build a lasting legacy for future generations using real estate and wealth creation methods. Proverbs 13:22, it says that a good person leaves an inheritance for his children's children. But then it says that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. And here at Kingdom Legacy Builders, we're all about building a legacy, for your children, not only for your children, but for your children's children, and for us, we're all about that. And today we're going to be talking about our series. We're picking back up in our series, things that you need to invest in 2021. Things you need to invest in 2021. And I want to talk today a little bit about giving yourself a raise. Now, everybody wants a raise, don't we? It would be great to just walk into work tomorrow, talk to your boss, your supervisor, and say, hey, look, I need another $5 an hour. I need another 10 grand per year, whatever that looks like. You'd be happy, wouldn't you? Well, what if I told you that you can give yourself a raise without ever talking to your boss? The thing that we fail to realize is that oftentimes we're spending tons of money. And there's a saying that I love, is that it's not how much you make, is how much you keep. Now, what happens to most people, whenever we get a raise on our job, whenever we make a little bit more money, we actually increase our standard of living. So in other words, if you get, another $5 an hour raise, or you get 10 grand more, you go and you buy more stuff, right? But the thing that we need to learn how to do is to stop spending money and keep more money, right? So you don't always have to get an actual raise on your job, but if you can start to spend less money, you're going to get a raise. It's all the same, and the thing is, you have in your power to give yourself a raise. So I want to just give you a few quick tips to help you in this area. The first thing is identify money wasters, right? We have lots of money wasters in our life. If you walk by and if you got kids like me, man, I walk by and my kids leave lights on, they leave water spigots on. I tell them don't commit a crime because there's so much evidence to convict y'all. But the thing is, our finances are very much the same way, and we don't even realize it. So I'm going to give you some tips today that that can actually help you. Very first one I want you to focus on is eating out, right? Stop eating out so much. And I know we're in the midst of the pandemic, you're like, well, man, I call DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats, all that kind of stuff. You got to realize that stuff adds up. It adds up real quick. And a lot of times it's in the short term, you don't think you're spending that much money. $8 here doesn't feel like a whole lot of money. But if you do that, like if you go to work and you eat out for lunch every day at $8 a day, right? 8 times 5 is 40, right? So, make the math easy. At 4 weeks a month, that's a little bit more than that, but just make the math easy. 8 times 4 is 32. So that's $320 going out of your pocket every single month. All right. So, wouldn't it feel good to have an extra $320 coming in to your pocket every month? Well, you can do that by just not eating out quite as much. Cut it in half, right? Take baby steps. So the first thing is eating out. Next thing is consumer debt. What I mean by consumer debt is like your department store credit cards, your Gap card, your subscriptions. Well, that's not, you got all these things, all these subscriptions you don't even use, cable bill. These are consumer debt, things that we spend money on that don't really return us anything. So, it's probably time to cut off the Macy's card. It's time to cut up the JCPenney card, time to cut up, the Best Buy card, and all these things, right? Time to cancel some subscriptions, because the thing is, these are eating away, just like leaving the faucet on. And some of that stuff we don't even use, you know what I'm saying? So the thing about some of the consumer debt too is that if you're only paying the minimum payment on it, you're not getting ahead, right? You're not even cutting into the debt if you're paying a minimum payment. So you got to recognize that. You're like, when I'm paying my bills, your bills are going to keep on growing, as it's going to keep on extending that out. So you're actually paying for the opportunity to hold on to debt, which is not a real good thing. The other piece of the whole consumer debt piece is that, we're in the start of the year. So we'll be filing taxes, in the spring, and as the year goes along, we'll be trying to file taxes. Now, what a lot of people do, which is a big mistake, is they take their tax return and they go and spend it. They go and waste it on a trip. They go and waste it on cars. They want to go turn up. They want to look good. They waste it on new rims on the car. They want to buy a new TV. All these kind of things. They are such a waste. Take your tax return money, right, and then use it to pay off debt. Let me say it again. Use your tax return money to pay off debt. Now, I'm not even going to talk about how you need to, if you're getting a big tax return, I'm not even going to talk about what's problematic about that. We're not even going to go into that in this video, but use your tax return. Make money an employee, right? Recognize that money is just a tool. If you're getting a stimulus check, right? Don't get your stimulus check, man, and run down there to Rent-A-Center. Don't get your stimulus check and run down there and try to put a, get a new car. Don't waste your stimulus check on that. First of all, use the stimulus check for what it's intended to. But if you don't need it for basic necessities and you consider it quote unquote extra money, use it to pay off some debt, right? Use it to actually invest in something. That's important. Don't waste your money on buying clothes, on buying shoes, and then the other piece of it is entertainment. Right now we can't really go out to the movies like talking about it, but we can still eat out like crazy. We can still order movies in, all these kind of things, right? Entertainment is it's a massive industry. You don't have to get every pay-per-view fight, fellas. I know we like to watch UFC and boxing and all this kind of stuff. In the event, right, where it comes down to your entertainment costs, don't waste your money on entertainment. Recognize, what is it that we can set a budget for and then do that, right? So don't waste your money on entertainment. These are just things where the faucet is got water leaking out, got dollars. Like, you wouldn't just walk outside and just throw dollars out in the street. Sometimes we do that and don't even realize it. The other piece is new cars and high payments. Unfortunately, the man down on the car lot will finance you, for 6-7 years. And he'll ask you what you want to pay. He'll just stretch your payment out. You got title loan places that will they'll basically take your car title, and give you money. All these things are a really bad idea. These are folks that are taking advantage of you. But you don't have to go get a new car every few years, right? Because that car, as soon as you drive it off the lot, man, it's worth a fraction of what it was when you looked at it on the lot. So, man, I drive a 2004 Honda Pilot. My wife drives a Honda Odyssey minivan. But guess what? It's all paid off. So that $250, $300, $400, $500, or whatever that we would have been paying on a car payment, we had to put that on the mortgage. We put that into our mutual funds, right? Our college funds for our kids. Put money to work for you, right? That car is going to go down in value. It is not an asset. It's definitely a liability. The other thing, last tip I want to give you, is understand opportunity costs. And you might be saying, Marseille, what in the world are you talking about? Opportunity cost is basically when money is not used in its most effective means. What I mean by that is, if you're taking $1, right? If you take $100 and you take $100 and you go and you buy, you buy lunch, or you go out for a nice dinner, you might make a memory, maybe or maybe not, right? You can have the same memory without the expensive dinner, but that money spent on eating out could have been invested. That money spent on eating out could have gone towards, wiping out a credit card debt, right? But if it was invested, let's say, for example, it's making 8 to 10% interest for you, right? But oftentimes when it's debt ridden, right, it's taking money from you, right? So money is a horrible master, right? But it can be a great slave. And I look at every dollar as an employee. I need to put that dollar to work to go and recruit some friends, right? So that's what legacy is. I want my money to go and recruit friends and generate, right? It's just like when you put a seed in the ground, that seed will produce a whole lot more, right? Our money is a seed, but we've got to sow it in the right place. So the thing about it, you must recognize, and this is the last thing I'm gonna give you before I get out of here, is that rich people invest first and they live off of what's left, right? They invest their money first and they live off of what's left. Broke people spend their money first and then they invest what's left, right? And that's why it's so difficult to get ahead. But y'all, you can give yourself a raise in 2021 by cutting down your expenses. Remember, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Guys, this has been my spiel for tonight. I want to give you guys just some tips to start off your 2021 on a positive note. I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you checking out the video. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be bringing you great content every single week. I love y'all. God bless. Can't wait to see you again.